Hello and welcome to this demonstration on the resource platform for the Sophia Institute um, programs that we have for our parish. First off, just logging in real quick, you're going to go to sophiateachers.org. Uh, Norma Molina should have sent you an email that contains obviously your email address is your username, and it's going to have a temporary password which you're going to use to log in. Then you'll change your password and you'll be able to use that one to log in moving into the future. So just logging in, you're going to be navigated to this first landing page, which is just a curriculum to choose from. But before we get into that, I just want to touch base on one thing. Especially, it's going to be pertaining to the catechist K through 1 and 3 through 6, those non-sacramental years. At the beginning of the year, you were given this parent guide as your kind of lesson plan guide for your classrooms. It was not intended for that. This was intended to be used at home for the parents. It doesn't have any lesson plans, as you have learned. It just has small activities that can be used throughout the month for parents at home to kind of engage their children, on 5-10 minutes at a time in a week. And it's not relevant to be used in your classrooms anymore. And we'll walk through which resources you can use, and then we'll talk about some other ones. So just moving forward, this parent guide is no longer relevant. It's not made for the classrooms. So just kind of set that aside and use the resources that we'll talk about here soon. So jumping out of that, first I just want to move real quick through your navigation bar on top. Here you have obviously your curriculums. Your classroom was contain e-lessons. These are just lessons that are created by teachers and catechists for you to use. They're free, and they pertain to kind of all topics, current issues, liturgical, call to beauty, which is like just a kind of a lesson plan that works around sacred art, and then just a few other ones that are just kind of pertain to the liturgical year. So you're more than welcome to jump on here, look through these, and see if there are any that you can possibly use, or maybe pick out a few activities from each one to use in your classroom. So, and then there's videos. The Sketchpad's really cool. These are videos. If you've never seen them, this is definitely a good resource to go and take a look at. These will be a good resource just to use in any classroom. They're really cool and kind of very engaging for the kids. They're kind of like these videos that kind of like draw out what's being explained in the video, and they're all about the sacraments. So these are definitely can be used for the sacramental prep. It's a good resource. And then baptism explained is just these videos that explain baptism step by step. So and Christ in the Classroom is a good resource for kind of your own personal growth in your faith. There are some catechist development, but for the most part, it's just focusing on, they're podcasts that just kind of talk about relevant topics, how to keep Christ in the classroom, how to, navigate through certain issues that you may come up against. So it's really nice just to have and to use if you so wish to. These are kind of virtual events. The personal development ones are in-person workshops. These are basically just ways that you can come online and kind of just engage with a community of like-minded people who are working and using the same curriculum you are. So it kind of will just give you a place to kind of chat and talk to other leaders around that are using the Sophia Institute content. So again, if this is something that strikes your interest, definitely come on here and take a look and sign up. Just to be clear on the beginning of this presentation is going to be kind of geared towards catechists that are, in those parent catechists roles, and then also the K through 1, 3 through 6 non-sacramental years. For the most part, the sacramental prep, you have all the resources you need in your books. There are some resources that can be helpful, like the videos, but there's not too many resources for sacramental prep on this platform. So for the most part, sacramental prep, you have what you need. If you have any questions, you can reach out. If you want to come on here and just kind of navigate through, there are, you have the online access to your books, but that's pretty much all that is on here for Sacramento Prep. So just keep that in mind. Uh, Jumping into family of faith real quick. I don't want to go too deep and take up too much time here. I just want to give you brief overviews of each one. So we're going to click into the Family Faith Volume 1 because that's the year we're in, and it's going to take you to this overview page. And this is going to pertain to parent catechists, but also it's going to pertain to those non-sacramental year because there are some resources that can help you kind of develop your lesson to be parallel to the parent lesson so that you can help build that foundation for those kids to go home and then be catechized by their parents. Because that's really the goal, right? We really want to have that mindset that, as catechists, we are now supporting parents as best as we can with the time that we have in the classroom. Because the majority of the catechizing that's being done is going to be in the home. So we want to give parents the best chance that they have to catechize their children. So how, always thinking about how can I develop a lesson plan that will best support them? How can I develop, activities that can best help those parents? How can I best support them in other ways? So just keep thinking about these all the time. But for the most part, for parent catechists, you have your leader's guide, which is on here. If you open it up, it's just an online leader's guide, which you'll have anyways. But it's just nice to have and to kind of sift through if you don't have it on hand. So there's also, if you drop down to units, this is going to be where the majority of your resources is going to come from. So if we jump into January, which is the next unit that we'll be working on, you're going to see that all of the resources for that unit are going to be available to you. You have your discussion questions, your lecture notes, which are also relevant to non-sacramental year catechists because they'll kind of help you understand the topics that are being used in the parent lesson. There's also PowerPoint, which is helpful in delivering the content, delivering the main topics. If you so choose to use it, it's here for you to use. A really strong resource, I think, for parent catechists is going to be the meeting videos. These are developed by the Sophia Institute, and they're basically mock videos of each lesson. So they use the PowerPoint, they walk through kind of each key piece of that lesson. You can definitely get pointers, you can get, some ideas from it. So this is a good resource for you to look through. Car conversations, fridge page, pacing guide, and then the saint of the month. Those are all going to be found in the parent guide. So you don't necessarily need to print any of these out or even use any of these. If for some reason somebody needs one, you can definitely come on here and grab it for them. But for the most part, it's going to be in the parent guides, and they just rip them out. So dropping down to lessons, these are just going to break open the lessons of the month, which there's usually 2 in each month, so that's why you see 2 here. It's just going to break open to kind of give you some other resources that you can use in building your lesson plan. You got catechism references, lesson topics. You can click on these and it'll take you to some relevant resources. You have your kind of your main vocabulary words that you're touching on. You have your parent essay, which is available in the parent guide again, but if you so need to, here it's on here for printing. And then these are just some extra resource videos that you can watch to kind of gain some more insight, or even maybe use if you so wish to in your classroom to kind of substitute in for as a supplement somewhere. Again, the non-sacramental year catechist, you can also use these as well. They're all on here for you to use. So coming back up top, you then can jump into the next lesson of that same month, and it just has some other resources pertaining to that topic. So here's the sketchpad video, and then some extra videos, I think, from YouTube and like Vimeo and other resource sites. So that's basically going to be kind of the main items that you'll be using on this website. Again, these are just resources for you to use. They're not necessarily obligated to use them. So don't feel like you have to come on here and look every time. For the majority, everything that parent catechists need was provided in those content binders. But if you need anything else, it's on here for you. Jumping back to Spirit of Truth for the non-sacramental years, kind of the same kind of concept. You're going to open it up. It's going to come to kind of which book you want to look at. We'll just open up this one real quick, grade 5. It's going to come to that overview page. You're going to have units that you can break open and then go to each chapter. But for the most part, this is going to be pretty relevant for you to use. Clicking on that teacher's guide will bring you to the online teacher's guide that you can then kind of sift through and look at, any topics that you think that will be relevant for the coming up month. I usually go through and send each topic to you individually, so that way you don't have to come in here and look. But if you think like, hey, I want to go through and look, and maybe I'll find something that I want to use, you're more than welcome to. As you can see, there's baptism. I chose one, but you can definitely go through and see if there's other activities you want to use and kind of just build your own lesson plan with different activities or different, whatever is creative for you to use. So with that, I just also wanted to say those lesson plans that are being sent to you, you don't have to use them. They're just a good place for you to start. If you so choose to use them, wonderful. If you have other resources that you want to start using, that you want to use from, I know that we have some Saturday books still around, but if you have other, outlets of resources that you think that are more you, can deliver the message a little better, by all means, I encourage you to create your lesson plan and have fun with it, and just make it authentic in what you feel is best. The idea, again, is just to give a strong support to those parents at home in catechizing their children. So just with that in mind, this is what's online and what's available. I hope that some of this is helpful to you. I know that for the majority you have everything you need, but it's here for you if you need it. And we're always here too. If you ever need support, just reach out. And just thank you for everything and all of the time that you're putting in. So God bless you, and thank you for your patience. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Thank you.